Alrighty, Super Benny here, and today we are talking about our trip to Tenerife. Now, in Tenerife, I thought we'd do something a bit different, chill and relax and all that kind of stuff. While I was there, I did go and check out some of the volcanoes and that kind of stuff. The volcanoes, as you're coming in onto the island, absolutely magnificent sort of geology and rocks. And all that kind of stuff. Very interesting. You can see from the top that in the way of all those sort of hotels at the bottom, I believe like Palma or so, I think like that sort of hit. The volcano erupted about 4 years ago, so that was all coming and taking people's houses, which was some crazy footage that we was watching over Christmas in Spain a couple of years ago. So you do have to be careful in these areas. It's all very sort of volcanic, and that's how these islands come across. Some of the ones in Caribbeans have completely exploded, and you have to leave part of that island or leave most of the island as well, so, which is absolute madness. So you have to bear these in mind. Eventually I want to retire to Spain and chill and be over there and that kind of stuff. So we're getting an idea. We went to Lanzarote and we've been to Ventura. You can actually see one of the other islands across the way as well. So yeah, very sort of fascinating trip. We went up to Mount Tiede as well to go and check out the volcano. I don't endorse volcano tourism by any means, but when in Rome. We had a little day out, had a little go up there. It's fascinating when you do come across some of these lava fields and that, and to see the palms and stuff coming out of the geology and that. Madness, absolute madness. There was pine trees a lot dotted along the way. The landscape, there was like lava roads, and it was very wild, and like the geology almost looked like Wild West movies and that kind of mad thing.
Sunrise paints the sky with gold. Another day begins to unfold. Open road, a gentle breeze. Life's a journey meant to appease. Golden days and sunlit skies. Every moment a sweet surprise. With open hearts we'll roam and see. The world unfolds beautifully. Through fields of green and ocean blue. Adventures wait, just me and you. Every step a memory made. In this moment unafraid. Golden days and sunlit skies. Every moment a sweet surprise. With open hearts we'll roam and see. The world unfolds beautifully. Let worries fade.
Very interesting, some of the villages and buildings as well that had settled in there. I suppose they can't even dig down for like the pipes and that kind of stuff because of, you know, the volcanic activity. There was some volcanic activity there, so there's always something crazy going on. Last time I was in Spain to get some video games and that kind of stuff, there was some wildfires. This time the volcano was having a little bit of seismic activity, but what I kind of see is like the seismic activity is kind of, there was eruptions in Hawaii and some eruption in Indonesia, so things are moving and it makes you feel kind of insignificant. We also did have a little look around. There wasn't much else to do, we were just chilling and vibing. I did go and have a little look at a little encampment while I was there, just something a little bit different. Alrighty, Super Benny here, and today we're gonna explore, I'm not sure if it's a gypsy camp or like the hippies or whatever, but we'll go and check out. It looks a bit sketchy down here. I'm not sure if this is the best idea ever, but let's go and check it out. Bit of urban exploring, see what the situation is down here. So the beach is just down the road down here. There's like lots of like small parcels of land with nothing on them. I suppose they're going to be like new sort of hotels and that kind of stuff, and it's right down by the beach down here. Some of these will have like plantations for like bananas and that kind of stuff, but seems like some people have set up maybe camp down here or a little abandoned outpost here. But yeah, it just seems like the farming, just they've got little caravans and that, little shacks and that kind of stuff. A few pallets, a bit of wood. I've seen online some people are saying like they're either hippies or gypsies, or some of them are like naked encampments. So yeah, it looks a bit weird. So let's go have a look down here. There's a guy down here. Let's see if we can chat to him. Well, it seems quite nice, you know. It seems like they're just living off grid. Most of these pallets they've probably taken from the construction sites, repurposed, and yeah, there's a nice little terrace over here, some sheds over here. Yeah, crazy. It's really hot here in Tenerife, so everyone's gonna need a lot of water down here as well. I checked out some of the house prices down here, even for some of these new apartments. I haven't been here for about 20 years or so, and some of the house prices, even for a small apartment down in the hotel we're at, it's nearly $250,000. So I guess people are just trying to find any way they can to live down here in the south. It's craziness. At least they've got a nice view. But most of these have got electric, they've got radios, got solar panels, all sorts going on. You can see the hotels in the background. So yeah, it wasn't really sort of gypsy kind of people that kind of thing that I was kind of expecting it might be. So yeah, I just think it was just poor people. I saw a couple of kids going down there. I seen like a mum a bit desperate as well, just driving down in a car and that kind of thing. So yeah, it just kind of seems that, you know, I grew up sort of working class and that kind of stuff, and I can understand how, you know, tough the life is in here. If you go into the supermarket in here, some of the salads like €5 for like a salad and €3 and that kind of stuff. So people, you know, I understand why they're drinking and doing whatever, and not really achieving that much in around here. It's very, very struggling with the tourism in here. So yeah, little look around. I mean, some of the houses are fantastic. It looks like they were taking some of the pallets over there. They were building like wooden shacks and that kind of stuff. They had radio, they had the cars, they had TV, all sorts down there. So I imagine it's just normal life, but I reckon it's going to be super hot in some of those. A lot of them had solar power panels as well, that kind of stuff, like kind of off-grid living and that kind of stuff. But yeah, interesting to see. Kind of puts things in perspective really when you go and visiting and see the reality of the situations. Anyway, I'll be off. I'll see you in some next videos, and yeah, something a bit different for this video. Interesting.
Let's go.
In this video, we had a little look around, and there was, you know, quite a contrast. You know, you are, you know, I'm thinking of, you know, repatriating or whatever you want to say, or moving to Spain, retiring to Spain in the future, and seeing how some of the house prices were. It has changed a lot in the last sort of 20 years or so. Very, very sort of big buildings. There was a lot of banana plantations. There was so right next to it as well, there was a lot of like plots and stuff that was left open. These plots were taken by some, initially I thought they were hippies and that kind of stuff, but it seemed like some locals and that kind of stuff. There was a few hippies, but you know, they built like these magnificent pallets, and there was having like shacks and stuff by the beach. I did notice some people thought, oh, it was, they have some like little rock pools and stuff, and I suppose a lot of people got bored of like the karaoke and the madness from Tenerife and that kind of stuff, and ventured out to see something a bit wild, and it was greeted by this quite surprise. I didn't feel threatened or anything down there. It was, you know, a bit sketchy in parts, but hey, yeah, I've been in worse places, you know, around the world, and it was very interesting to see, you know, kind of look at from different perspectives, you know, them being right by the beach, having to pay nothing, very, very cool, and then the other people who was looking, who paid like £300,000 to be in a holiday house, and you know, it can be gone in a minute by the volcanoes. So who's got it better? You know, if you're living there for free, or you're wishing you had, you know, an expensive house. You know, it kind of puts things in perspective. Anyway, very interesting to see how people was living over there and different kind of stuff. The house prices of bananas, and the food prices of bananas, and the reality and the different kind of struggles as well on the island. So potentially going in the sea here. There's like a natural swimming pool down here, so yeah, I'm gonna go swimming in the sea. See how this works out. Looks dangerous.
La piedra,
Claro, no se puede pisar aquí.
We also saw some virtual reality and stuff over there. There wasn't too many sort of video games, but I do post a lot about stuff about video games on here as well. There was some like video game shops more in the north, but I thought this is a bit of a chill holiday to chill by the pool and get some sun. I need a bit of a rest, to be honest. So yeah, very, very chilled holiday. Yeah, I'll leave that information there so you can see like all the shops up in the north if you do get a chance. But as I say, you can get ripped off with some of these shops and that kind of thing. So just be careful and going into these places and do your research, do that kind of stuff as well. But yeah, some cool shops up in the north. Very nice little chill break and that kind of stuff. And yeah, I think that's it. Do I want to say anything else about a trip to Tenerife? No, I think that was it. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Very, very relaxed. Nice to get some winter sun. Anyway, take care.